James. Everyone call me LJ. I'm one of the vice presidents for Fifth Third Bank in Central Florida. So I cover Jacksonville to North Florida. But I've been in the church. My daughter's 19 years old now, so I've been with Faith for about 19 years, on and off for the most part. But I'm always happy to be here. Always happy to be here to not only present, but also to lend my helping hand in any possible way I can. So when I talk about, so let me go back. So part of what I do for the bank, I teach financial literacy within most commercial private bank customers and the employees. So here talking about football. So I teach for the Bucks in Tampa Bay. So that's one of the major companies that the bank has a partnership with, along with the Sharks in Jacksonville. So, but no, in terms of the market today and where we are in terms of financial and real estate market, it is very, very hard to see where we are today based on today's numbers, based on what we're hearing. Because if you say real estate now, you hear that the rates are high, and you hear the value of homes are very high. Right? Wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
What do you do? Where do you go? Where do you go from here? So my thing when it comes to sharing this information is to tell people that when you think of where you are today and giving yourself power, is how do you give yourself power? How do you give yourself control back? Is by putting the control back in your hands. The system is not designed for us to be in control. The system that the world is built on is designed for them to make money. The fast way for the government to make money right now is to make sure that you're in debt, to make sure that we're in debt. To have credit, to have bad credit, everyone profits off of you to have bad credit. So I'm in the bank. So who makes money? How the banks make money? How lenders, how dealerships making money? Because think about it right now. If you go out there and buy a vehicle, and I gave this example earlier, if you go out there and buy a car and you have bad credit, your interest rate can be from 10 to about 18%. On an old car, new car, doesn't really matter. So you think of your 18%, who gets 18%? Who are you paying 18% to?
The lender.
The lender, the institution. The commission goes to the dealership, whoever they choose to use as the lender of the bank, they get the other half of that rate. The person gets the vehicle, they leave the dealership, they get a $350 interest rate or a $350 payment for the insurance. Who that money goes to? The insurance company. Why do you think that new person under 25 receive a higher rate than the person over 25?
For insurance?
Yeah.
Because they are more reckless with driving?
That's part of it. It's your credit score. Your credit score has a lot to do with your insurance, home insurance, and vehicle insurance. So now that person is paying now about $600, $550, and another $300, $350 for insurance. So this person right now, because of his credit, is paying almost $850, $900 for a vehicle that's older. Do you see how the system works? Mm-hmm. So in order for you to have control of your economy, you have to think of, where do I see myself in 5, 10, 20 years? But at the same time, in this world, you have more than I would say $100,000. An individual who have bad credit wastes more than $100,000 every 10 years. That's just systematic.
Say that again.
A person who has bad credit will waste more than $100,000 in 10 years, just on interest, overpayment on so many different things. Think of just rent alone, how much a person pays over 10 years. So that comes in combination of all this stuff. But I was, like I tell the first class, to get away from the system is for us to get away from the television, to get away from the news, to get away from social media. Because if you sit back and hear the economy is doing bad, it helps you to not want to make a decision or make a move. But the moment you realize that you put stuff down and you educate yourself, like Dr. Carr said this morning, or just minutes ago, we lack knowledge. Is for us to understand that there's so many ways for us to receive information once we want to receive the information. But at the same time, when you want to give yourself back something, is learning information that's going to pretty much encourage you to do something different. So when I think of the economy, when I think of the real estate market today, and that's what I'm going to talk about today, is the real estate market, you're going to pay so much more because of what the system is telling you. The system is telling you go out there and rent an apartment. What's the cost of an apartment right now? 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom in Orlando?
$2,500.
$2,500.
What, 2 bedroom?
Wow.
I don't know what it is. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Lord.
It's absolutely 2,500.
You serious?
Yeah.
Orlando?
My sister's.
We didn't buck
You
it.
did
But let's go with the number that we played with earlier.
It was like $2,200.
$2,200.
Yeah.
Depends what area, but.
Depends on what area,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
But go ahead and first someone have a calculator. If you could do the math for me. $2,200 times 12.
$26,400.
Now do 26,000 times 30 years, which is your traditional mortgage.
Almost 800,000.
Almost $800,000. So we're gonna hear the news that says rates are up, right? That's 6%. We're also gonna hear the news that mortgage is up by double digits. A 3-bedroom used to be 4, or 3-bedroom used to be 3, 3.4, 354, but now a 3-bedroom is now 455. What's the number you came up with? Almost $800,000.
792. So almost $800,000. Good roughly. You can,
Could you buy a house in this area for $800,000?
I'm assuming. I hope so.
Very easy.
Yes.
God knows you're overpricing yourself. Seriously. What about Lake Nona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely overpricing yourself. Avalon,
Yeah.
with a garden, with a park. Overpricing yourself. But if you stop and listen to the news, would you want to buy a house?
No.
No. But if you renting at $2,200 and you're gonna spend $800,000 anyway,
That's very funny. I know somebody's doing it right now.
so regardless of how you do the math, for me, math is math is math. And there's so many people right now find themselves in a situation or will continue to find themselves in a situation because of lack of control. And the control is fixing credit and having a deposit. Earlier we talked about redlining. Earlier we talked about all these different things because right now the system right now is trying to move people in a certain direction. Let me go back. Does anyone know what redlining is?
Yeah, they take a community and they say, well, this type of people are coming into your neighborhood and they're gonna devaluate your house.
Mm-hmm.
So they put a
So
scary.
let's get them out.
It happened in New York.
Yep.
We call it the white flight.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, there was the blue collar, white collar community flew because those that weren't blue collars were moving in and they scared them, so they ran.
So that's your J Street, Fulton, and Flatbush.
Right,
As soon
so
as you
the-
pass the bridge.
So the whole value of your house, they scare you that's gonna decline. So they
And you know where they went? They went to the Bronx.
and
So-
so they're to the suburbs.
And the crime rate now has increased in the Bronx because of redlining. They're doing the same thing here in 3 markets. So you have the Paramore, you have the Pine Hills, and you have the St. Cloud on the corner of Lake Nona and 192. I'll tell you why. What's being built downtown? Paramore area.
Oh, they have that whole new, like, the colleges.
UCF just moved down there.
Yep, the hospital,
Advent Health's moving down there.
like they're expanding.
The stadium.
Yes.
And in 2 years, what's coming? Football.
So
Football is coming in 2 years.
They want to change the perception so more people come. Because you go down there now, you're like, I don't know about this.
And they have, so football is going to be in a world platform. So Messi has changed football for America.
Yes, I
So
like
they're
this.
saying that he's doing the.
I'm sorry, James, when you said football, you talking about football.
No, sorry, soccer.
Soccer.
Sorry, soccer. I'm so sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you. No, soccer. No,
He's
soccer.
talking about American football, y'all.
No, no, soccer. I apologize.
For the
Soccer.
Europeans, it's football.
Yeah. I'm from St. Kitts, so yeah, football. But it is the.
In Brazil is football too.
In the world is football, people.
Yeah, Americans. have
No,
to
I
change
apologize
that.
though. No, but the Messi, which is a soccer player, has been paid millions of dollars between his team in Miami and Apple to make soccer a worldwide name before 2 years.
He's doing a good job, too.
He's doing an amazing job.
I will watch it, and I never watch soccer.
So that shows you the job he's doing. He has changed the price of Orlando ticket from $25 to almost $400.
Wow.
Because everyone wants to go see him. But in 4 years or in 2 years, The World Cup is going to be in America for almost the first time in history. North America. So it's Mexico, United States, and Canada. Do you think they want people to come and see OBT, Paramore the way it is today in 2 years?
They did the same thing in Brazil.
So when you think of these things and you think of Paramore, Pine Hills, and that corner by Lake Nona, remember it's Lake Nona now. Lake Nona is the new Windermere. Medical City, there's companies from all over the world coming to Lake Nona.
Yep.
When you hear Lake Nona in New York City or Chicago, California, all these names of major cities, you hear Lake Nona, it's like, oh man, that's a beautiful city in Orlando. So they don't want the perception of people to be there that can't afford to be there. So what they do is, what's that word we used earlier? Eminent domain. So what is eminent domain, everyone?
Eminent domain is when the government can come and say, hey, for government purposes, I can take your property, or I can use it for government purpose.
We need to build a drainage, or we need to build
a highway. Or
correct, however you want to say it. These things are being done, these things are being discussed to get individuals from certain areas to put them in areas that they can't afford.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you a story of one of my employees, literally last week, who's making $70,000. I'm gonna tell you this because she's no longer in the state, but she had to leave her branch right there in Alafaya Trail, Alafaya and Corey Ford, to move back to Virginia with her child, her single mom, because she can't afford to live here on $70,000 a year. Is that good money? In my opinion, yes.
especially for Orlando, because the cost of living, well, maybe
It's
it's
very
changed,
nice and
but.
super-
So I'm glad you said that.
Right.
I'm glad she just said that. It is changing.
Yes.
Oh, it's right.
So the lenders right now, or your renter investors asking for 3 times the rent.
As a deposit, right?
So you think of,
2,500.
go ahead.
Yeah.
75
Just for the
times
cost.
Don't
12.
get you a down payment, you're gonna start putting out 10K
That's
for
what
it.
But
I'm
LJ, I guess I'm confused, cause I was under impression what's driving it is different groups of people coming from
Different major states.
major states,
Mhm.
and they're buying up and are able to buy cash for a lot of our homes, and they're driving up the rates, but it sounds
100%.
like you're saying.
No, you're right.
Okay.
It's in combination of what you're about to say.
Okay.
No, finish it though.
No, I was just saying like I was just thinking that was what was causing our rates to go up, not this
No,
other aspect. or impact
it's
that-
part of it. It's part of it.
I wanna be the advocate. So as a lender,
Uh-huh.
a vice president for a lender, which a bank is a lender,
Yeah.
an institution, whatever you call it. These people who, if I can afford to rent I call it a hut. You know, I used to live in Atlanta, these are huts here in Florida. But these little small places for $2,500, then I should be able to afford a house when I come to you, right?
That's the point.
So if I come to you, or
Mhm.
whoever comes to you, and say, look, I'm paying $2,500 a month rent, I got 2 years to show this, won't y'all approve them?
Should.
I'm just saying,
The
I'm just
average-
saying,
the
I mean, you
average-
saying the system, so it sounds like the system saying no to these people.
The average credit score is still in the
But
fives.
because of
The opportunity there is that, yeah, you can afford to make it, but credit score is gonna be a factor, but now because your credit score is not there, your payment's gonna be higher because of what he explained earlier. So now instead of buying that house, and also the houses cost more, now instead of being able to buy that house that you should be able to pay 25, the house went up, interest rate went up, so that $2,500 a month payment isn't $2,500 a month anymore, it's gonna be even higher.
So does that answer your question?
It does, it's sad
Okay.
though. Cause at that point, it's like you can't get out of it. The people in this
But
situation.
that's the,
But that's
I'm
right.
glad you just said
Yeah.
that. So that's the point where so let me flip it to now credit. The problem where we at right now with credit, one of the fastest way people are making money is people having bad credit. You know, it's a system. There's no bureau. There's no credit bureau. They don't know that. There's no such thing as a credit bureau.
Yes, I did.
No.
A lot of people don't know that.
That makes sense.
There's a collection agency that don't work for the government, but they're being very, very much incentivized by the government to make sure that you stay with lack of knowledge.
Not you guys here anymore.
Hopefully no one in this room right here is in that position. Hopefully no one in this room is in that position. But the thing about it is, like I was telling somebody earlier, most of the debt the United States have, who do you think is paying it back?
Taxpayers.
Oh no.
Lower
Who's
credit,
paying it back?
lower credit, individual consumers.
Minorities.
Brown and Browns.
Yeah.
And everyone has bad credit.
That's basically, that's what I was gonna say.
But who pays most of the debt, who pays most of the system is us. We're the one that's paying back most of the debt, United States. And the lower,
Why?
the lower your
Why?
credit is the more
Consuming.
control they have for you and the more you pay just to walk around this world. So we have to know, if I use the word control, which I like to use the word control because someone's gonna have control. So if I think of control, what do you get? When I think of control, what do you get when you hear the word control?
Leash. It's a leash. You can only, I'm only gonna let you go. I used to have big dogs.
Yeah.
Big dogs. That are
Yeah,
real
I like
powerful.
that.
Okay, you wanna get out of hand? I got this leash.
Leash on you.
And so what the dog
What
learned
the
to
dog-
do is you only gonna go so far because his leash gonna stop you. So mentally the dog like, hey, I gotta calm down because the leash. And I think that's how they do people who got bad credit. It's a system. You
It's a
start realizing I can
system.
only go so far because it's something that's gonna pull me back. So that's what I'm thinking.
But how do you take control of that system?
Fix your credit. Fix your
You don't get into debt by not taking your credit cards. Cut your credit cards, number one.
Mhm.
Number two, influence your nieces and nephews. Don't take that credit card when they give it to you in college. free.
Amen.
That's the
Amen.
that's the beginning. That's how they got us.
Yep.
They started with the young kids, giving them credit cards. Cause I remember when we were first married, we tried to get a credit card. We couldn't get a credit card back then, 40 years ago. And now they're just handing it out in college for these kids, and then they get in debt.
Part of the system.
Right, and then the school loans doesn't help either.
Yep.
So even before they get out of college, they're in debt, these poor kids.
Part of the system.
My theory is, it's like the old civil rights movement. Boycott. What did they do with the civil rights movement? The African American community did the greatest thing in history. They boycott. They didn't take their buses, they didn't go to the restaurants, they didn't buy in the stores, they stayed in their community. And what did they do? They put a stop, which was the greatest thing that I loved, and I wish we could do it again.
That's
And we
a
can do it
whole
again.
new class to teach. That's a whole new class to
Listen,
teach.
I'm there. Let me know when you're gonna teach it.
That's
And
a
not
whole
only
new
that,
class.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he'll
be
teach a
on
whole
the
lesson.
side.
He gonna teach a whole lesson.
And that's what we have to do. Just like, I mean,
No, I'm with you. I am for you.
That
But
stays
it's-
burning in my mind. I was what, maybe 17, 18 years old back then. And I
That
loved it.
would break the system to reset the system. If
And
that takes
that's,
place.
and that's exactly what has to be done.
Yeah.
That's
I
exactly
agree.
what has
I
to be
agree.
done. There's no other way because they got us.
But there's
Hold on.
there's individual economy that we control.
We
which
need a
is
Moses to break through that wall.
100%.
Right.
But you could be your Moses of your economy.
Your own life, yeah.
Because there's too many people right now is waiting and hoping for the MLKs and the Malcolm X's to release them from this bondage. No, release yourself.
Amen.
By giving yourself power. Financial freedom, I can't think of any other freedom out there besides God.
Amen.
But financial freedom starts with us and things that we do on a daily basis. So if you know that your credit is not in the right space, what can you do? Put in the right place.
Get the control.
I have a question for
I
you.
have an answer for you.
I gotta be careful how I word this, cause y'all might say, money back. So I started paying off a lot of stuff. I said, man, the more I pay off, the lower my score goes. I'm like, this is a scam here.
So that's what I told you.
Yeah.
I knew this was coming. Go ahead.
If I pay off a car, okay, I might keep it 6 months, pay cash, pay it off. Yeah, I close the car. I got the title. What you want me to do? Be in debt? You can't punish me for having titles and stuff. I was raised, you get titles to cars.
Mhm.
So you pay off your house and see what they do to your credit score.
Mhm.
It's gonna drop. You
Mhm.
gonna be like, what
That
in
is
God's
true.
name?
100%.
Now, I'm talking about, late payments or miss no payments, paid in full, never miss payment, all that's on there.
100%.
But I closed it.
Yep.
Just like y'all saying.
Yeah.
I paid it off, got the title. Well, you know what they do? It dropped 30 points. Every time you they close something that's big, they
Yep.
go, I said,
Well
well,
done.
hold on,
Or with
man.
a large balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. I don't
No,
know
no, no,
about-
no, you're good, you're good.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
let me ask you a question. Has anyone ever played a group game? Like football, basketball, soccer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me use it for example. What game? What
Football.
sport? Football. American
American football.
Okay, now imagine playing football and you're the only one on your team that don't know the rules of the game.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
How effective are you to your group, your team?
None whatsoever.
How is your team
I'm
looking
lost.
at you as a player, as a teammate? How are they looking at you?
Get this guy off the field.
Why?
Because I don't know what I'm doing. Because I'm lost.
Why?
Because I can't help.
You didn't learn the
I know
rules.
about- I didn't learn the
You didn't
rules,
understand the
yeah.
rules. That's credit. Most of us is going around playing the game of credit, but don't know the rules of credit, and you're affecting your family. Your team is your family. And you play this game for 20, 30, 40 years, and you say, why am I not getting ahead? Why am I paying off things and they keep lowering my credit score? Why they're doing this to me? Because we don't understand the rules of credit. So that's what I was telling you earlier, we have to do a class on credit. Because I think once we understand how to play the game, it's better for us to understand this conversation.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, not to go into a class of credit, you also gotta understand there's two basic types. You have revolving, you have installment.
Mhm.
Your loans that you talk about, you paid off, those are installments.
Correct.
And you paid off quickly. And I'm not saying I agree with the way the grading
It's
system.
just a game.
Cause I don't agree with the grading system, but the thing is, if I don't see a history, not me, but that's
The bank.
the banks, they don't see a history, they don't know how to determine. So if you paid off real quickly, it could be like you just came into money. That's not what happened.
No,
You paid off
yeah,
quickly.
till 6 months like
Yeah.
most of stuff.
Now, revolving debt, if you keep those scores, if you keep those balances low, don't close the account.
Yeah, I got that.
Just keep that. So those are the trick, boy. So if you so if you have an installment loan and you open it up and you pay off within 6 months, that's not gonna help you. If you keep it for 24 months, they see a history that will help you. Again, we don't want debt, but I'm just explaining how.
I'll
they
talk to
keep
y'all
that.
after the service. I think my situation unique. I don't have a problem, but I talk to the people and they say, look, where you at your bandwidth, they not gonna regardless of what you do, your score is not gonna vary very much.
Okay.
And so that's what they told me. I actually talked to somebody about it. They say, so it's gonna go up a little bit. It went down 30 points, but it's not gonna go up too much more because of where you at. That's what they told me.
I'm gonna disagree with that person.
Huh?
I'm gonna disagree with that
What
person.
did you
Wow.
say then?
Only because I've been doing it for too long, and I've seen a 21-year-old with 850 credit score.
I had that at 18.
That's
So
the-
that's
So
not-
that's
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 not a
but
problem.
that's my point. So
Yeah.
in terms of time and patience
other stuff,
and
yes.
activity, there's a lot of variability is why things either drop or go down, but your credit moves. It's a vehicle.
They told me that it affected my credit history and that it'll recover within a year. But I like you did. I'm very I don't agree with me doing something right and being punished for it.
Correct,
So
correct.
I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
That's how I feel. I
But
feel
don't
like I'm being
apologize
punished.
because that's credit.
That you're punishing me. It's not a point that I still can't do the stuff I want to do and I got bad credit. But it's just a point of you're punishing me
To do
for
the
doing the
right
right thing. I've never in my life been punished for doing right. This is what I feel like.
Credit is not one of those games
And
that
so
when you win,
Yes,
there's no
yes.
winning
So
in
what
credit.
I think what you
We're
said
gonna have
is
a
like-
class.
Not to pay off your house?
It
or-
depends.
No, you have to pay off your house.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
But I think what you're saying kind of validates what he's saying, because what you did was a good thing to do, and we were teaching in class to pay off debt, right? But it's a game, and the people who created the game, they have a different set of rules and a grade and a grade way they grade it. So even though you did something good, that's not how they like it.
They don't want you to be there.
Yeah, but it's gonna change, like they said, after a while, it will continue. Long as
Yeah.
you keep what you're doing, it will go up.
That's
It
what
won't
they
take a
say.
hit.
Give about 6 months to a year. So okay, yeah. They want me to get
It
some
drops
more.
quick.
They-
But no, that's what it is. So,
Well, real talk.
We're
We're gonna have a class. on
So,
that.
real quick.
Go ahead.
So-
Remember, finance is not the same for everybody. So we're gonna get into that. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Go
that's a great question. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. No, please do not
very,
apologize.
very,
Do not apologize
very
because
relevant.
when it comes to this, the system of credit is such a game that everyone needs to know the rules of. And the younger you are, the better opportunity you have to maintain and manage through it.
Amen.
But there's so many people who didn't play it, didn't know, and couldn't understand because their parents didn't know it. So you grew up just having lack of information once again, but you don't know what you don't know. And when you understand something like credit, I promise you, it'll release you and give you freedom.
I
Hallelujah.
wonder if that's why they don't teach that like in high school.
They don't teach you
So let me ask you a
ever.
question.
They don't teach you about life in high school.
So,
Like I've had those
They don't
discussions
teach
with
you
as
ever.
kids.
but I'm gonna ask you a
And that's why
question.
we
They
come
don't
here
teach
to
that.
learn.
So if the system, and we just talked about the system earlier, the banking system, the government system, the dealership system, the
The
retail
school
system, not the school system yet, but all these systems, if we give you this knowledge of saving you money and not making money,
Oh, okay.
why would I teach you?
Yeah.
If I'm the government,
What
To,
purpose
to,
is
to be
what
smarter
purpose
than
do I
them.
have? What benefit is it to teach you how to get debt free when I need you to be in debt free?
That's how they control us.
That's how they control you.
Exactly. But when I was a kid, they taught us how to maintain a checkbook,
Yeah.
and they don't teach it now.
Oh, yeah.
No. They do in a different system though. Remember back in the days, the 90s, I got that same class earlier because I'm from New York. You had your shop, you had your cooking, you had everything else. They teach you how to write checks, but they never teach you how to not be in debt or how to manage credit. So here, this is how you write a check. This is how you bank. But banking is debt. I work in banking. I'm sorry to say it, but banking is debt. But you can manage it if you manage it. But it's how do you get out of that and knowing how to manage it, and how do you teach the next generation how to manage it? Staying off of the news, staying off of social media, staying off of television, just picking up a book like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Those are simple
The
books.
20 years.
All these books we
30,
could pick up
40
and
years
read,
ago.
but it'll release and gives you so much more freedom
Amen.
once you understand how much knowledge is out there. But it's easier for us to go on social media and say, hey, he's gonna teach me how to get rich quick. Let me pay this $50 to $100.
Class, then buy a $700 class that are gonna teach how to be rich.
He did.
In 2 months, yeah. Yeah, we taught him, right? He is the one that got rich. Yeah.
But that's what we're seeing out there.
Yeah.
John Maxwell had that. He
Huh?
said- John Maxwell had that. I went to one of his recent seminars, and he was like $10K, and I could teach you how to make money. For $10,000, you had to pay to learn. And I was joking with the guy next to me. I was like, well, first thing you need to tell us is how to get our $10,000 back. First thing you need to tell us immediately, as soon as we pay. So how do we get this loan back? All right, let's start there. Let's get the ball rolling. So, I mean, that's a lot.
But these are the things that when I turn on social media and I see people coming to the bank and they're asking for money or they're asking for loans, I give you one of the quickest example. I heard this one. This was Jacksonville, and this customer cashed out 401k, his 401k, his wife's 401k, and did a HELOC on their mortgage. And I'll tell you how, I'm gonna tell you the process. So someone taught him how to put $10,000 in and get back 20. Put another $10,000 in and get back another 20. So his thought was, you know what, if I put more in, the math shows I should get more back.
Leverage.
So they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So he did all these things. I forgot the number he gave me. It's over $100,000. Now what do you think that person did? Ran with his money. So now this customer now don't have an avenue to pay back a HELOC or have any retirement plan. Because he took it out, thinking based on someone else's information, I'm gonna show you how to get rich quick.
Where these people from, man? I'm from the country and I got more sense. It just don't make sense. I ain't trying to be funny.
No.
It just sounds like a kid.
There's a lot of
grown person.
This is a girl posted there, but it's But this is a lot, but this is what we're hearing on social media.
Yeah.
This is what the banks are seeing based on what people are saying and seeing on social media. But that's why these classes that we do, especially in the community, is so important, because you could have your own financial freedom. So I teach 52 classes, and this is probably one of the basic classes I teach when it comes to just information, along with credit, how to get out of debt, how to budget, insurance, how to leverage beneficiaries. All these different classes that we teach is basic class to get you to another level of being an entrepreneur or working for yourself. And if it's not working for yourself, it's just having another means of income. Because if you follow the system, work for 40 years, have a retirement plan, retire after 65, 70, and pass away at 10 years to 15 years later, that's the American dream. The problem is that's something that they started in the early 30s, early 40s, and it's not the same economy today. So you cannot take a method or a platform that was designed 30, 40, 50 years ago and put it in today's platform, because that's why so many people is failing. So should you buy a house today?
No.
Yeah. If you're
I would
paying
tell
that
you
kind of
yes.
rent.
Depending on what you're paying, yes.
Should you buy a house today?
Me?
Anybody?
I agree. I think you should.
Compared to
Yeah.
renting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
I think it's very, yes.
It's an
I
investment,
definitely- yes.
something that
You're
you're
in an
investing in
apartment.
yourself.
You have to.
Someone
Because,
else's pocket.
because the renting is, I'm always pay this. I never own it. If I buy a house that I owe $200,000, eventually I pay it off and I can pass it to my children and I got something to give them. But if you rent, they can say, look, I wanna sell this house tomorrow. You gotta get out.
I would've wanted
So
to-
there's no stability to
I
me.
would've wanted to
No,
be
no,
years
100%.
of owning and renting, because I know different people. They say like owning, it's yours. Anything breaks, you gotta pay for it. Renting, it may be you have $2,000, but if the AC go out,
Call
hey,
somebody, yeah.
it's like, hey man, come on,
course.
fix that.
Much
You know,
easier.
like, it's
Yeah,
much
the
easier.
easy,
Who
but
don't
this is
want
the
that?
easy, see?
Who don't want
That's
that?
what
Yeah.
people want to be. People want to be easy.
So that's
Who
what
don't
that's,
want easy?
that's the balance there with that. Like I own, but it is some stuff like, yeah, my AC did go out this year, so I had to do that. Start calling, hey, come out,
Welcome
check it
to
out,
the grown-up
go through
life.
different, prices, and then pick the place, to do it. But if I rented, it would have been no sweat. It'd be
No
like,
sweat.
hey,
None.
man, you come over and do that. You here on Tuesday, cool.
And how long
But
was you living that situation?
5 years now I've had that house, so yeah.
House.
Yeah, I have a house.
So if it was easier to rent,
Yes.
how long would you say in that model middle of renting?
How much easier it would have been
Yeah.
than if I was renting? Yeah, it would have been a lot easier.
Lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, I still would be paying my.
But what's the
rent.
gain?
There's no gain there.
There's no gain.
Because it's not mine. At the end of the day, it's not my place.
Oh,
So-
we
The
went through that
difference is
also
also, you
ourselves.
also fixed in your monthly expense
Correct.
Yes.
versus, so yeah, you got the repairs is all you, but you
Mhm.
have locked in a monthly expense.
Yes.
Right now, the consumers who are renting, their rent isn't fixed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, also too, I look at the AC as a investment into my property.
100%
Because if I
investment.
decide to sell,
100% investment.
it's a brand new AC. Yep,
Yeah.
that boosts it up. So
And I would say too with rent, if I was to rent my house, I'm gonna build in a cost in the rent
yes,
to be able to pay those expenses.
absolutely, you have to.
So you're still paying it anyway.
Right.
Because really, the rent probably could have been 1,500, but I'm really gonna charge you 2,000.
Mhm.
So that 500 comes to me, and just in case you break something, I can pay, and I'm still making money off
Correct.
of
Yes,
it.
of
So,
course.
you're still paying it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
You know.
went through that last November with our air conditioner, but it was 20 years ago that I replaced my air
Yeah.
conditioner. So when you look at that, the period of time that it took for it to come down,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great
Investment.
investment.
100%.
Yeah.
Let me just say something very quickly. It's 12 o'clock, so
Oh,
normally we
I'm
have
so-
to
I'm so
stop,
sorry.
but no, hold on. If anybody needs to leave, right, and go to the service, please feel free to go. And then we're probably going to be here a little longer, but just wanna say that if
Okay.
anybody needs to
I didn't
leave,
realize the time.
you
I
guys
apologize.
can
That's
go.
not your fault, that's not.
No,
that's
no,
not
no,
my-
it's,
Good.
that happens.
But no, I'll just for the purpose of time and everything else, I'll end with this. Do me a favor, when you think of what the consumer is hearing out there on social media or the TV, Don't. The problem is they want you not to, so they can keep you in bondage. That's it.
So one basic thing that we tell the kids what would be about credit.
Fix your credit earlier than later. And we're gonna, if you have access to come to the class when we teach credit, come to the class.
Or come to this class.
Come to this
And
class.
teach
So
them.
we're gonna have a class here, and I told Dr. Carl I will come back and it's a 35 to maybe 40-minute class. But I will teach a class on credit. It's very in depth.
Yeah.
But I will teach a class on credit. And if you have anyone that wants to come out, friends, kids, anyone, bring them out.
When's it gonna start?
And we'll send out,
We'll
we
send
will
out.
plan to send invitations, cause I know y'all not gonna be in a class, so that way y'all could come back just for that class.
Good. I think that's great. I think it's real good, man.
Yeah, it's usually gonna be within the last 3 weeks.
I'm sorry, I had to be quiet. I was so mad. Y'all don't know how mad I was.
No.
I get mad about money.
I hear this thing almost every week. I
I
hear
got a good credit
the
score.
frustration.
I'm about to call all three of them. I say, look, man.
No,
You know, Mr. Gilbert, look, man, y'all tripping. It's gonna go back up.
No, I don't do, and I don't bring cars to this environment because I'm not here for that. I'm just here for.
Hey, Tay, we need to do
But if you
standard.
want